You are listening to the Fab Female Nutrition Podcast, episode 173. Hey there, I'm your host, Wendy Hill, and I'm a nutritional therapist and expert in female hormone health. I specialise in helping women gain confidence and understanding their bodies, allowing them to shine. This podcast allows me to share the knowledge I've built up, along with bringing you guest experts to support you in your journey. So, Jenn, I just want to say welcome to the podcast. I'm really quite excited about to have you on today. So for our listeners, just give us a kind of a brief kind of intro to you and how you got to be doing what you're doing now.
Oh, Wendy, brief. I love it. Okay, I'll just say hi. I know you know I'm Jenn Edden. I am the founder of this method called the Sugar Freedom Method. I say that because I am a recovering sugar addict of, almost 20 years. I'm a mom to 3. I'm almost 50 at the time of this recording. And so growing up, eating sugar was normalized.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel great. Weight on and off, but really anxiety. I developed close to an ulcer in my 20s, and it started to not feel normal anymore, to have all these anxiety issues. What's going on with weight? I exercise normally. Not feeling great, excessive sweating. Why am I getting an ulcer? And so I started to delve into that right after I got married. And so 20 plus years later, for those who know, like, some things just fall into your lap when it's a calling. And I won't get into the near-death experience where we can. That got me here.
No, yeah.
But I did have one in my late 20s. And I was like, it's time to take hold of this and then share my work. And so it's not about not having it. It's about understanding how to not have sugar control you. And so you can just look and feel your best and stay healthy into our later, wiser years, right?
Oh, I love that. Later, wiser years. Yeah, I love that. And that's what I really like about kind of your method is, and your approach is very similar to mine. It's not a case of like, you can't have it, but very much about like understanding why you want it and what are going to be the consequences. And I use that in the loosest possible term because there isn't always negative consequence, but the consequences of having it. And you're very clear on that, aren't you?
Oh, gosh, yes. And what I find is every woman comes with a different level of addiction.
Yeah.
We're all addicted to something, let's be honest. I happen to be addicted to feeling good. And so I teach that. But yes, sugar, and we'll get into it whenever you want, but sugar is a socially acceptable, legalized drug. We give it when we're healthy. We give it when we're sad. We give it when my kids, oh my gosh, used to go to the doctor and once in a while, sick visit, here's a lollipop. I'm like, that is amazing. So it's part of the grieving. It's part of celebratory, and it's a legalized drug. It is. And it's socially acceptable, and it makes it really tricky. And I wouldn't mind if we just ate it and we were okay. But the problem is you know, the challenge, women who come see us in their 40s to 60s, they're not feeling well anymore. Their bodies will not shed the weight. We call it inflammation. And sugar is inflammatory, and it's in everything. So if it doesn't affect you, you're good. But when you can't pull it out and you're not feeling good, and you want your body to feel as good as your mind, now you've got a problem. And that's when women come see us.
Firstly, I want to say, your book, Woman Unleashed, you very kindly offered a free copy to everybody. So there is a link in the show notes. And so we're referring to this. And I haven't read it fully, but I've kind of like read through it and stuff. And I love it. And I've picked out stuff already.
And it says to do that.
yeah, it does.
It says you're not going to follow anyway.
Follow everything. I'd really like you to, but I know you're not going to. And that really made me chuckle because I thought, no, I'm not. I'm just going to pick some stuff up. So that was brilliant. So that's what we're referring to. So I just want to pull back. So everything you talked about is in there and it's brilliant. And I recommend everybody reads it in the order that they want to read it in, because something will shout at you. It definitely will. But let's just talk about a little bit about sugar, I think, to kind of wrap up today, because we've talked quite about it. So you talked about kind of like cortisol and the addiction and stuff. Okay. Let's delve into that a little bit and talk a little bit about the science and why sugar is so dangerous.
Oh, okay. So the first thing that came to mind is you have to know, and it's different for everyone, but the way alcohol takes time to get out of the bloodstream and the liver at night when you're sleeping needs to break it down. So instead of the liver heals at night, it's breaking down. You have to know when you're drinking alcohol, right? So wine.
Yeah.
People say, oh, I can't lose weight. Things aren't healing. Yes, because one of the liver's jobs is to heal and repair and to remove toxins. And if it's got to remove what we're eating, it's really not healing, and it's not going to help you burn fat. Okay, that's real. Number two, sugar is addictive. I know, because try and take it out and you're going to have an emotional reaction. Women get very down, sad. They actually can feel depressed in the beginning. And there's nothing wrong with you. You're not actually depressed. Your brain needs to heal. It needs to get dopamine hits from looking out at the beautiful blue sky I have, from hugging our children, from having a really, I'll just say it because I love what I do. I'm so grateful every day. Women like pay us. They let us help them. I'm grateful. So I get dopamine hits everywhere. When we're used to just getting this dopamine, this high from what we're eating, the rest of the world kind of feels dull. It feels dull unless you're getting that. So I want you to know that that goes on. Takes a few days. People say, oh, when I go on this cleanse, I always then don't crave it. Yes, that's because when the few days it's out, the body is starting to repair itself. The brain is starting to repair itself. You have to know that the brain and the gut, I'll say it quick, are one tube. Your gut, right, your intestines and your brain, they're one tube. So one of the strategies in the method to naturally get cravings to be gone and reduced is we work on your gut flora health. Those beautiful little bacteria talk to us. I was reading something about that. I remember exactly something this morning about which I already knew, but I was like, wow, I didn't actually realize they're talking and they're craving sugar to feed your brain. Okay? Because our brain needs glucose. It needs sugar in the form of glucose to get us to feel good. And, we start to feel lightheaded. Whoa, that's because you need to eat.
Yes.
That's a real thing, lightheaded. And the brain requires that. And that's when it's like, you're like, why do I feel like having orange juice? It's the weirdest thing, right? Or I want a cookie. Probably just have very low blood sugar levels. And the brain's like, truly like, I'm going to die. That's what it's telling you. It's very smart. It's primitive. Get food now. Now, it'd be great if get food now was translated to, could you have a banana? Could you have an apple? Could you, I don't know, eat a potato? That will do it quick. Or rice. I'm thinking of things that turn to sugar quicker, right? Versus a fat, slower to turn. It doesn't. It's fat. It's not sugar. So is that helpful to hear? And that's why I say stabilize your blood sugar and eat throughout the day, because that alone will help you not crave. And while you're at it, that is absolutely the first thing we do is we work on gut health. Okay. Doesn't just mean taking a probiotic.
Love it. And Jen, I love it. I could talk to you all day.
We did good. We did great.
We did good. And I think that was I think that's a really wonderful place to leave it.
My website is Jenn Edden Coaching or JE Coaching. And you can find me there and get a download to either my book or to watch the masterclass. Okay. On the method. It's on the homepage. Or will be in a week because we just added it to the homepage under Sugar Freedom Method. So you can find me in any one of those places. I'd be so honored if you followed me and dropped a note.
Jen, that's amazing. Thank you so much. They are going to love this. Your energy is infectious, absolutely infectious. But thank you so much. I've loved it today. You've been wonderful.
Same. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you for watching this excerpt of this week's Fab Female Nutrition podcast. If you'd like to listen to the full episode, then the link is in the notes below.